Now, I told you there's some breaking news. This paper is still hot in my hands. Let's go straight out to reporter John Lewis from WSB for the very latest. I understand that everything now is up in the air. Tell us.
Well, that's correct. The district attorney may be dropping the 2 murder charges and an aggravated assault charge against Andrea Sneiderman. Remember, jury selection in her trial begins a week from today. They are considering doing so. The charges that were named in the indictment still stand, at least for now. But again, the district attorney is considering dropping the felony murder charge and the malice murder charge against her, along with an aggravated assault charge here in Georgia. That's considered an attempted murder charge. They don't have that statute, but attempted murder is aggravated assault. And this all stems from the November 18th, 2010 killing of Rusty Sneiderman. He was shot to death outside the Dunwoody Prep Day School. He had dropped his 3-year-old son off for daycare, gotten back into his car, and as he was getting back, a van pulled up. The driver of the van got out and started shooting 4 shots, each one closer than the one before. The last shot flush to Rusty Sneiderman's neck. Then the driver of that van gets in and drives away. It turns out, as we heard earlier, the driver of that van turned out to be Hemi Newman. It was not only Andrea Sneiderman's boss at General Electric, but according to the emails, the 2 of them had been having an affair. Now, Andrea has denied that, but it's what police have hung their hat on, saying this is why he did it, because she manipulated him. But as we just heard, they may drop the charges, and she may end up not having to face murder charges when her trial starts in a week.
Well, gee, why? I mean, why a week before jury selection do prosecutors suddenly turn around and say, oops, never mind? John Lewis, we're going to debate this in our Lion's Den in a second, but do you have any inside information on why they would have this change of heart when they've painted this woman as a monster?
Well, I don't know why 7 days before the trial they decided to drop or possibly drop the charges, when in truth, we weren't sure why they even brought the charges up. And I'll say it this way. To prove her guilt of murder, you have to prove that she conspired to commit this murder, conspired with Hemi Newman. Now, Newman was convicted last year. He was found guilty but mentally ill. Throughout the entire trial, he claimed she had nothing to do with it. He killed Hemi Newman, he said, because he was trying to protect her children. But he has maintained she knew nothing about it. She did not have any role in this. She did not take part in planning it, nothing. So if the gunman, the man who pulled the trigger, continues to say she did not do it, the question we as reporters have had the whole time is, how are you going to prove she did when the man who pulled the trigger says she didn't? It just seems like a very flimsy case for murder if the gunman is saying it's not her doing.
But he's a nut job. He's in a loony bin. He was found guilty but mentally ill. He was saying that he was hearing voices that were Barry White and Olivia Newton-John singing to him, and he was trying to decide whether to listen to Olivia Newton-John or Barry White. Now, some people thought it was a big phony, but he's as sane as can be, and he was acting crazy so that he could get sent to what's considered plush, a mental hospital prison ward, as opposed to another kind of prison, and he managed to pull that off. There's Andrea crying her eyes out. Oh, wow.